Well, it's officially a done deal. If you know what I'm saying, get it? Done deal, D-U-N-N, okay. Insert handshake emoji here.
I mean, that's just one of many deals that crazily happened on the very last day of the transfer window. And it was like a crazy 24, 48 hours for a lot of players. But that's what we're going to talk about today. A few transfers that were made official, and then some that never came through because there's a couple that I thought were gonna happen, and they didn't. But how's it going, everyone? Timestamps down below. So 30 days of the transfer window being open, and I mean, I guess we'll get to the one we talked about last video that was kind of the talk of all of WOSO, was Keira Walsh leaving Barcelona, and we talked about the issue she had at Barcelona. We talked about why she wanted to go and everything. And at that point, it looked like a pretty much done deal. But it's not a done deal until...
pen to paper,
yes.
Ink to paper, or whatever they say when you sign the papes.
Yeah.
No, sign your life over.
Exactly. They have to go through, they have to get it approved by FIFA. They have to do medical exams. They have a lot of things. But officially, it is a done deal. The deadline was at 11 p.m. They signed it at 10:59, I hear.
Do they have their own notary public for that? No,
Probably.
Do you need that?
Yeah. I don't even know if they have those in England, to be honest. But it is official. Keira Walsh is going to Chelsea. Chelsea offered Barcelona enough money to make it happen. I'll have Sara read this headline, and we'll kind of talk about it.
Keira Walsh, Chelsea sign England midfielder from Barcelona. Chelsea have announced the signing of England midfielder Keira Walsh from Barcelona, with sources telling ESPN the deal is worth around 550,000 euros, or $572,000. The 27-year-old has signed a 4.5-year deal with her new club. Walsh was set to leave Barca at the end of the season on a free transfer if she did not sign a new deal, and the Spanish Giants decided she should leave for a fee. It's unbelievable. I'm very happy to be here and very excited to get started. Walsh said in a statement, "You look at the history of the trophies Chelsea have won, and I'm an ambitious player and person, so for me, it's a good fit."
So it is official, 4.5 years, which that kind of, for some reason, she's only 27, 4.5 years did kind of surprise me a little bit. And then the number that we have right here is 550,000 euros, or is that pounds? I think it's euros.
Looks like euros.
Euros. Or the number we have is $572,000, which I heard the number $900,000 or 900,000 pounds floating around too. I don't know if this is actually confirmed or if the number is somewhere in the middle and that's more the number, but I've heard both numbers. And people said for only 6 months left to get 900,000 pounds, to get $900,000 for only 6 months left would be crazy. But I would believe it even if it was 900,000 pounds. I just can't believe what Chelsea has done. Chelsea, what have you done? GIRMA, Keira. I mean,
put that on a t-shirt. I'd buy it.
I've used this before in the past, but it's like the Ariana Grande song. You want it, you got it. You want it, you got it.
I see it, I like it, I want it, I got it.
Oh.
But we're going to read some comments at the end, I think. But a lot of Arsenal fans are kind of like, if we're trying to compete with Chelsea here, we have to spend the big bucks. We have to go all out like Chelsea does. Yes, we're doing moves, but Chelsea really puts their money where their mouth is. And although some people might think that they're buying the championship, hey, don't hate the player. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game, you know.
Yeah.
This gives Chelsea a better chance to bring the Champions League title back to the WSL. Because you think, okay, you might be an anti-Chelsea fan, but I think for the WSL to have a Champions League winner, even if maybe you're an Arsenal fan or a Man City fan, even if Chelsea wins, I think you like the idea of WSL having the Champions League coming back to the WSL. Now, I could be wrong with that because a lot of people are saying, I'd rather have it be Barcelona for 20 years before Chelsea before they win. And I'd be interested to see the split on that. How many people are just like, I want it back in England. But Chelsea really are doing it. GIRMA, Keira Walsh. I'm excited for her. And I'm excited she was able to get out of Barcelona and go somewhere she really wanted to as well. And also, I think she would love it if she just went to Champions League, and I don't think I don't think she's cup tied or anything. I think she can play Champions League against Barcelona. Now, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but if she went, she's already won Champions League with Barcelona. To go help Chelsea win Champions League with Chelsea, and I mean that would be cake. That would be icing on the cake for it all in a competitive way. Nothing personal necessarily, but just in a competitive way.
Oh, it's personal.
Yeah.
It's far personal. No.
Yeah. And it's like, what happened with Arsenal? Did Arsenal, I really haven't read into this too much. Did Arsenal not offer enough money? Is that not where Keira wanted to go? Arsenal they were just said, we don't have the money. That would have been really nice for Arsenal to get a big player like Keira. Arsenal fans, they need some big signings. And that would have been great to see Keira on a contract for 4 years, but it didn't work out. But Arsenal, after the two big moves Chelsea just made, Arsenal, I've heard people talk about the ambitions of Arsenal to get big players is just, the owners and the management and the board is just not where it needs to be. So it would be interesting to see what people think. But no, so congrats to Keira, 4.5 years. So that's very cool. But I guess we'll go to this story next. Speaking of Arsenal, Jenna Nighswonger has officially signed with Arsenal, and very excited for her. I don't know how long of a deal it is. It doesn't say in this article, but I'm so excited for her. Who would have thought 2 years ago Jenna Nighswonger would go to the Olympics, win a gold medal, be on Arsenal now, and so pumped for her. Yes. She talked about being excited to play with Foxy, and then they asked her, what player are you most looking forward to learn from, to be playing with and learning from? And she specifically said, Katie McCabe. She can't wait to learn things from Katie, get as much information.
Maybe she'll learn how to, get a few yellow cards.
Maybe. Not too many. But she's excited to learn from her, and, these new skill sets these players who have never played over in Europe are going to get is very exciting.
I really like this comment. How the F do we come up with a chant for her new name?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that chant is going to be a little tricky. They're clever. They're going to come up with something.
Maybe like Nighswonger.
Yeah, dun, dun.
I don't know, because it's so long.
Well, if they came up with a chant for Stina Blackstenius, they can come up with a Stina. So
yeah, clever. Clever lot you are.
Yes, very clever. So excited for her. And excited for Arsenal. Now, let's talk about a player who we have not talked about this player. But, when we talked about the drama surrounding Keira Walsh, Chloe Kelly, what has been going on with Chloe Kelly, realistically over the last 6 months, is nothing short of a miniseries, a drama. I don't know. It's crazy. We really haven't talked about it much, but everyone has noticed. She's not getting playing time. She wasn't getting playing time at Man City. She played 6 games since the start of the season. Gareth Taylor wasn't playing her. She wasn't playing. Sometimes she wasn't even on the sub list. They really were icing her out. And to be honest, I'm not quite sure if those reasons were personality-wise. Not quite sure. But I do know she wasn't playing. And so then we know this transfer window is coming up. And then a couple of days ago, Chloe Kelly actually released a statement on her Instagram. She basically said her contract ends over the summer. She knows she's not re-signing. She knows her future isn't with the club. But then she said that... I'll have Sara read this part.
A key lesson I have learned in my life is that whilst I can't control someone's negative behavior towards me, I can control how long I am prepared to tolerate it. From day one, I felt so much love for my teammates and the fans. With my contract expiring in June, I've accepted my future is not at this club. It's not at this club beyond then. With the Euros fast approaching, the summer is a huge one, and I want to be in a position to give it my best shot to represent my country, something which has always filled me with such pride, and this is a true honor to do so. However, to be dictated whom I can and can't join with only 4 months left of the football season is having a huge impact on not only my career, but my mental well-being. The situation has dragged on for too long. It's disappointing and not right. I'm at a pivotal point in my life and my career, and is very disappointing that the sport we love can make you feel this way, especially after there's been so much growth in our sport. This is why I'm posting this, because I want to make you all aware as players. We as players dedicate our lives to our sport and our clubs, but our dreams can be crushed whilst we live in silence. I'm human, and I have and will give everything to the game that I love. Ultimately, I just want to be happy again.
So she kind of laid it all on the line how she was feeling. Obviously, she's not feeling great. She wasn't playing. I'm sure it's because of internal things that are happening. And then she's saying she wants to go somewhere. They're not letting her go somewhere. And that's a problem. Now, what she was saying is, from what I've heard, she wanted to go to Man United. And Man City kept denying a transfer during this transfer window because they said, we're not going to let you go there. Because what Chloe Kelly said was she wanted to stay. She's already lived her life in Manchester. Her family's in Manchester. But Manchester City said, basically, we're not going to sell you to Manchester United. From what I can put together, it's for two reasons. One, it might just be to punish her because, that's what you want, well, you're not going to get it kind of thing. But I honestly think, and I think we're going to read a comment about this, it's not very common during a league race or a cup race, you sell to your biggest rival. And Manchester United and City are big, huge rivals, and some teams might, but understandably, City is like, we're not going to sell you to a rival. And I think a lot of people have talked about that, whether it's right or wrong. I think most people can understand that reasoning, but I think it was not that alone. I think it was more personal reasons behind it.
It was probably a mix of both.
Yeah, but if Manchester City says we're not going to sell you to a rival, I kind of get that. I guess I get that.
Yeah.
And then there was reports that Brighton actually offered Chloe Kelly a transfer to buy her from Man City. And apparently Chloe Kelly said, no, I don't really want to go to Brighton. Then, basically, I don't know the succession of things that happened. Basically, we're going to read it. Chloe Kelly accused Man City of being in cahoots with the media, putting out negative stories about her because, I don't know, vindictive, or because they said, well, you wanted to leave, you could go to Brighton and you decided not to. So now we don't want you to, now we're going to make you look bad, basically. Long story short, though, Chloe Kelly has actually ended up at Arsenal on loan. So things did not work out for Chloe, I think, the way anyone anticipated. It was just a mess. This headline says, Chloe Kelly accuses Manchester City of assassinating her character before move. England winger loaned to Arsenal for the rest of the season. Really disappointed to end things like this, Gareth Taylor says. The England winger Chloe Kelly has accused Manchester City of attempting to assassinate her character as she leaves to join Arsenal on loan for the remainder of the season. Kelly, whose move was announced by the two WSL clubs at 11 p.m. as the transfer window closed, used social media late on Thursday to allege that City had been planting negative stories about her in the media. So on Thursday, the 27-year-old wrote, I am so disappointed to find out tonight that people at the club are briefing journalists against me if I am to sign at a club before the window shuts. They've called reporters to assassinate my character and tried to plant negative stories about me in the football media. She added that any such allegations against her were false, before concluding, to those responsible, I am disappointed in this. As I said in my previous statement, I just want to find happiness again. And I believe Chloe Kelly's saying that the stories were planted saying she put a kibosh to the Brighton deal because she just didn't want to play at Brighton, that she wanted to move, and she said no to Brighton, because she wanted to stay in Manchester because her family's there. But then, and I'm not sure if that is exactly what the character assassination was, or I read another statement saying that, like, the reports were that she was hard to work with, that she was uncooperative, that she wasn't a team player, that, you know, you wouldn't want someone like this on your club, just overall just not a team player. So I guess that was also part of what Chloe alleges that the character assassination was, that Man City was feeding to the reporters. I believe that's kind of like what the stories were. And she's just saying, why would you plant stories against me? And I guess I believe it. It's just such a sad, dramatic story. I guess the one thing I do understand that if City doesn't want to sell her to Man United because of the whole rivals thing, I guess I get that, even though it's not fair. I guess I get that. But now she's officially on loan with Arsenal, and obviously that still just means that City retained Chloe Kelly's rights. City's going to be the one that pays Chloe Kelly still, but hopefully this summer Kelly can find a permanent home wherever she chooses to go, because I think that's the big thing when you are on a transfer window. From what I believe, now tell me if I'm wrong, your contract says you're going to be with this club for this amount of time. Since she's on that contract, the club can decide if they're going to decide that they will sell her or they won't. Now, if she was a free agent, she would have all the control in the world, but I feel really bad for her. But I know that if City doesn't want to sell her to their rival, I get it. I know it's also personal, and but hopefully this summer she's able to find a permanent home. Maybe she'll stay with Arsenal. I know she can't play the game against City that's going to happen Sunday, so it's just crazy. But I'm super excited for her that she gets to play at Arsenal. That she got out of Man City for number one. But she gets to go back to Arsenal. She has a history with them. They can win a lot of things there. She can help them win every game. I'm super excited for that. Because again, she wants to gear up for the Euros. She wants to be selected for that Euros team. She wants to play at a competitive club, even though Brighton is competitive. But it's just a mess. So yeah, but it's so funny because recently Viv Miedema has been doing interviews talking about being at City. It's felt amazing to feel really respected here and felt really welcome and feel like she's appreciated in comparison to being like that Arsenal didn't care about her. But now Chloe Kelly's saying kind of the direct opposite of that. So they just might not be treating Chloe Kelly very well individually. Maybe management picks favorites and they say, well, this person's my favorite. This person might have a great time. This person might not. So what does everyone think about the Chloe Kelly situation? Just crazy. Also, another person who has gone out on loan, and this is what it's so dramatic. Laura Wienroither, she has just been put on loan from Arsenal to City. And so she's going to City. Again, she can't play this weekend or anything because they're playing each other. But she probably wants playing time. And she probably feels like she didn't get enough playing time. Maybe she feels like Viv did, because Viv didn't feel like she was supported in her injury recovery. Maybe Laura feels similar from Arsenal. It's just crazy. And then before we go to comments, the two other things that have happened is Crystal Dunn actually is now going to play at PSG. See, Crystal Dunn signs a 2-year deal with PSG after departing Gotham. So we knew that she had left, but now she is going to go to PSG for 2 years, and it just makes sense. Her husband is French. We thought she was going there a couple years ago before she signed with Gotham. So this isn't a huge surprise. Some people thought she might be going to Seattle Reign, but she is going to PSG. So, I'm excited for her. And also, a couple deals that did not happen. Number one, the Sam Coffey deal did not happen. I really thought the Sam Coffey deal was going to happen. But Chelsea did not want any coffee. At least not yet.
They don't take that kind of coffee.
Yeah. So that didn't happen. Also, another deal Sara and I hadn't even spoke about is
Ingrid Engen. Ingrid did not leave Barcelona. She is still with the club.
Yeah. So no movement on that. I think some people really didn't think that. I think a lot of people thought that was a dead deal to begin with, but she's still there. So those are the exciting things that have happened over the last couple days. Although I didn't even tell the viewers that Sara actually had to go to the other room while I was giving the Chloe Kelly story.
Yeah, I had to go do something, and then I came back like nothing happened.
But let's read some comments, because we'll just kind of backload the comments.
Only one choice in the
WSL for her.
She was never going to go to Arsenal. She wants results and big wins. The panel Chelsea have is insane.
So comments about Keira Walsh. She wants to win championships. She's a winner. No one thinks Arsenal's going to win the league, because they really, mathematically, it's going to be very tough. And I don't think most people think Arsenal can win Champions League. Maybe they could, but, Keira wanted to go to Chelsea.
Someone says, don't be mad at Chelsea for strengthening the team. That's what a football club is supposed to do. If you want to get mad at the players for taking the easy way out by joining a super team.
I don't know if I agree with that completely, but I guess the idea is Chelsea, if they want to, and then we made a comment saying Chelsea is going on the payment plan to pay for Naomi GIRMA, and I didn't realize this, but most big clubs actually go on the payment plan, so it's not unique to Chelsea, but yeah. So here's someone talking about Arsenal.
Arsenal fumbled real bad. Cheap club, zero ambition, and they wonder why their club have been stagnant for years. Keep going for that sandwich cup, eh?
Now that was kind of rude.
I don't know. I kind of think the sandwich thing was funny.
But I mean, true. Arsenal have to pay big money if they really want to win league again. After this, they really have to up their game. You know, talking about Chloe Kelly, someone goes, I feel so bad for her. It's terrible to be stuck somewhere that clearly doesn't want you, but make you stay around. So I guess, yeah, over the last 6 months, she had to be there. And now they said, we're only going to sell you to this person or this person when she really wanted to go to Man United. But it just sucks to feel like you're unwanted.
I mean, that's gotta be really awkward going in, day in, day out.
Yeah.
It's gotta be awkward.
Yeah. I mean, here's someone talking about the idea that she wanted to stay in Manchester. I will read this.
It's only loan for now, but would she stay? I heard she wanted to stay at Manchester for personal reasons. So it's like she couldn't go to United, and that's why she's at Arsenal now?
Yeah, it is a little tricky, but I think the idea is she wanted to stay in Manchester. City said, no way in hell are we selling you to our rival. It's like we talked about, / personal reasons. It wasn't just the rival thing. And I believe being on loan with Arsenal, I'm actually not quite sure if she has all the rights to play Champions League. I know she can't play any matches against City the last half of the season, but can she play, is she what they call cup tied for Champions League because City's also in Champions League? I'm not quite sure about that. Hopefully she can.
I purely believe she's had to sign because City wouldn't let her go to United. United has 2 bids rejected. Here's to hoping we can get her to United in the summer. Stay strong, Chloe.
Yeah, and that's a good point. She's going to Arsenal on loan for 6 months. Then hopefully she can sign with United because she's from there. Her family's there.
Congrats to Kelly and the Arsenal move. Hope it all works out for her. Let's face it, United could have offered a high transfer fee, but City were never going to loan her out to United. Yeah. Yeah,
and I guess they would have never loaned her out either. This one more comment about Keira Walsh. As much as I wanted her to become a Gunner, this is a win for the league to have her back. Looking forward to watching her play again. Yeah, and so many WSL fans just want to see Keira. They want to see her every weekend on their screens, and people love Keira. So in that respect, it was really nice to have her back. But just very dramatic. And what Chloe Kelly says that City is selling stories or to the media. I believe it. Definitely believe that. So it's just kind of like a really crappy situation. But hopefully, Chloe is successful at Arsenal, helps Arsenal win every game, then over the summer she can sign a new contract with hopefully United or hell, Chelsea, hopefully with United or somewhere. But yeah, crazy, so much going on. What is your favorite story or non-story of the week? Are you an Arsenal fan who are I don't want to say jealous, but kind of jealous? Chelsea's getting so many players, or now you kind of like Arsenal's like, okay, we have Chloe Kelly for 6 months. Okay, we have Jenna Nighswonger. We don't need to spend $1 quadrillion to win. We can just do it. You know what I mean? So it is kind of a tricky situation, but what does everyone think?
I think people are pretty mad at Chelsea for taking everybody.
Yeah, I know. Questions, comments down below.
Trading season's over. Yes. Okay, Dua.
It definitely is over. No more trades right now. No more trade. Transfer window is closed. Questions, comments down below. Big, exciting match over the weekend. City versus Arsenal. I mean, even though Laura and Chloe can't play, I think we have Viv Miedema, I believe, is going to play, and she's been killing it. I'm sure Viv wants to score a couple goals, so we'll see what happens. Viv versus Beth. I mean, big game over the weekend.
Beth.
Yes. Questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great night. Bye.